The Dallas Mavericks were a total surprise package in the playoffs. After being supremely dominant against the Utah Jazz, the Mavs took their game to the next level with the return of Dončić as they knocked out the best team of the regular season, the Phoenix Suns. Then they improved their side immediately in the offseason by adding Christian Wood, but that had a knock-on effect on the Houston Rockets. So let's review.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First up, Dallas and Houston involved in Blockbuster trade. As soon as the offseason began for the Mavericks, after a poor showing against the Warriors, they wasted no time in adding to their roster. As per multiple insiders, the Mavs were interested in bringing in Christian Wood from the Rockets, but they had to move pretty quickly to make sure it materializes. They did just that and traded Wood for a number of bit part players and a first-round pick as well. The players include the likes of Boban Marjanovic, Trey Burke, Sterling Brown, and Marquise Chris. While that definitely compromises the depths of the Maverick squad, it shows their intention of adding quality over quantity. Everyone knows the Dallas side will be making some major moves in the offseason, and they'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with in the upcoming season. It's been obvious that the Mavs have been looking to add a decent player to support and somewhat ease Doncic's workload. But what does Wood bringing to the Mavs? Christian Wood is bringing to the Mavs in exchange for a draft pick was a bold decision by the Mavericks, but now, with the draft already done, we can see if it was worth it or not. Of course, it'll still be opinions and speculations, and we won't know whether it's a decent move until after the 22-23 season. But in Wood, they're getting a big man who has the brilliant ability to score threes. He was averaging 4.9 attempts per game last season and scored nearly 40% of them. It's a pretty impressive and priceless ability to have, and there's a lot of upside to signing Wood, as he's only 26 with an insane amount of experience playing in the NBA, and standing at 6'11", he averaged almost 18 points and 10 boards, playing roughly half an hour per game for the worst team in the league. He led the team in both categories, so it's safe to say that they really got the Rockets' best player, although that isn't much saying considering they found rock bottom with only 20 wins. He'll settle well in with Dončić because it should suit a proper 5-out offense that can provide space for the Slovenian, and only God knows what he's capable of doing in that space. But it's not all rosy because Woods changed 7 teams in 7 seasons playing in the NBA. The 26-year-old has been all over the country with short stints in Philly, Charlotte, Milwaukee, New Orleans, Detroit, and more recently, Houston. These are certain question marks over his defense, but Jason Kidd's ability to improve defense could help him out. Plus, it's a win for Luka. The Mavericks need a severe upgrade in the front court, and adding Christian Wood seems to be a genius move. It's a big win for Luka too, as he can rely on a decent addition to improve the side. Wood has shown that he has the ability to get points in various ways, and his partnerships with James Harden is something that must be super pleasing for Dončić. As a role man, Wood's athleticism comes to use as a lob threat or a strong finisher at the rim. Dallas fans would tell you just how important it is to add a player of Wood's quality to the side. And what kind of players are the Rockets getting? To be fair, it can't get much worse for the Rockets. Considering they barely scratched the 20-win mark last season, they're getting a wealth of bit part players which will definitely improve their depth, something they lacked last season. Of course, it's not exactly quality depth, but then again, beggars can't be choosers. And at the same time though, it's a fantastic move for the Rockets because none of the players they're getting in a trade are a long-term investment. All of these players have expiring contracts at the end of 2023, and that means the retaining power remains in the hands of the Rockets. While none of the 4 players they're getting is a foundation piece, they've still had a spot in an NBA rotation, and that's valuable. Marjanovic at 33 is probably still the best of the quartet, and there are already rumors that he might stay beyond next summer. The 7'3" center brings a lot of experience and points to the table. Sterling Brown averaged only 3.3 points and 3 boards in 12.8 minutes throughout the 22-21 season, but he's only 27, and we wouldn't be counting on him just yet. If he can replicate that kind of performance he put in against the Timberwolves in the regular season, he might end up staying too. As for Trey Burke, he's definitely on the short side, but he averages 17.5 points per game and 4.7 assists per 36 minutes. That's impressive, especially for a team like the Rockets, and he can do a serious job off the bench. And finally, the youngest of all of them, Marquise Chris, he's only 24 and he averages a healthy 16 points and 10.7 rebounds, along with 1.4 steals per 36 minutes. So these aren't exactly bad options by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, and the first round pick for the Rockets. The most important part of the entire trade was the first round draft pick that the Houston Rockets received from the Mavs. It was the 26th draft pick, but once they gained that, the Houston franchise had 3 picks in the first round, and they used them to completely change their roster. The Rockets were rumored to be pursuing Paolo Banchero, but the Orlando Magic wasted no time in making him the number 1 pick. That didn't change their plans because they got their second option in Jamari Smith Jr., and they got incredibly lucky because Tari Eason remained unpicked until their 17th pick. However, before the draft had begun, the Rockets were swift in their thinking and struck a deal with the Timberwolves. This meant that Minnesota sent their number 29 pick and 2 future second-round picks in exchange for Wendell Moore at number 26. This worked out tremendously well for both sides as the Rockets snapped up Ty Washington, another player who was originally thought to go a little higher and turned out to be another value pick for the Rockets. As per many scouts, Washington's considered to be one of the best player makers in the draft. Some going as far to say that he is the best playmaker in the draft. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And all in all, it was a special night for the Rockets because they got themselves some fantastic bargains. Tari Eason is one of the best defensive players available in the draft, and when you add Jabari Smith Jr., who should strike up a great partnership with Jalen Green, you can say with a bit of confidence that they won't be finishing rock bottom anymore, at the very least. And now, in other news, Exodus continues. John Wall Rockets agree to contract buyout. The Rockets are pretty much done with some of their players, as they should be. After mustering up less than 40 wins in the last 2 seasons, John Wall is the latest departure after the two sides agreed on a buyout, which would lead Wall to giving back approximately $7 million to hit free agency. With plenty of suitors circling, the LA Clippers are expected to complete the signing of the 5-time All-Star in the coming days. Wall's recent career has been plagued with injuries, but the Clippers probably think that they can turn his fortunes around. Next, Paolo Banchero and Magic come back to haunt Rockets once again. If missing out on the number 1 overall pick, Paolo Banchero wasn't enough for the Rockets, the 19-year-old also decided to hand the Rockets their first defeat of the Summer League. The former Duke Blue Devil was on top of his game and scored 8 quick points en route to a total of 17 in the game and setting the tone for a superb win for his new side. In fact, the most impressive moment for Banchero came in defense when he swatted away the drive attempt from the number 3 overall pick, Jabari Smith Jr. Who do you think will have a better season between Jabari and Paolo? Lastly, the Mavericks deny interest in Kyrie. Kyrie Irving's future is still unresolved. He's definitely leaving Brooklyn in the current offseason, and he's overwhelmingly rumored to be joining LeBron and the Lakers. However, one side that has distanced itself from Kyrie is the Dallas franchise. The Mavericks have reiterated that they've got no intentions of signing the 7-time All-Star. It seems that the Lakers have a free shot at Kyrie, and they'll put everything on the table to get him to Los Angeles. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Christian Wood trade to the Mavericks? Do you think it's also improving the Houston Rockets? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.